A pleasant morning, ma'am, and to my fellow classmate. Hi, guys. How's your day? I hope that everyone enjoy the Holy Week. For this day, our topic is all about to buy or not to buy. Before I start my discussion, I would like to ask, have you experienced a situation in your life wherein you came to a point that you have to choose whether to buy your priorities, the needs, or the wants? We know that until now we struggle to choose our first priority, the needs or the wants in ourselves. So no further we do, let's start our discussion. Lesson outcomes. Explain the association of self and possession. Identify the role of consumer culture to self and identity, and appraise oneself based on the description of material self. Introduction. We are living in the world of skill and shopping spree. We are given a wide array of products to purchase and almost everywhere. We find promotion of different products. Part of us wants to have that products. Our wanting to have and possess has a connection with another aspect of ourselves. To buy or not to buy, it's a very big question. Or we can transform it into it is me or it isn't me. For these questions clearly defines about ourselves. For possession mirror ourselves as to the kind, the quality, or the value of ourselves. William James. William James, a Harvard psychologist in 19th century, wrote the book The Principle of Psychology in 1890. According to James, the more we invest ourselves in that object, the more attached we inevitably to them. What do you mean by that? James wants to remind us to tell us that the more we obsess, the more we invest in that object, the more we attach. And once we attach, it's difficult to us to avoid it. That's the points want to tell us of William James. We have three components of the self. One is the constituent. Constituents in the self-concept are identified through body, image, self-esteem, and role performance, including person name, gender, ethnicity, family status, occupation, and roles. Constituent is like a whole part that contain from the body image, self-esteem, role performance, including the name, gender, ethnicity, family status, occupation, and roles. Parang it's like I said, it's a whole part na siya ng self. So this is my end part, and the next Miss Jane would like to explain the next topic. So thank you, guys.
So hello everyone. My name is Martin Emeral. I'm here to discuss about material self and its components. So what is material self? So according to James in his book, The Principle of Psychology in 1890, material self is predominantly about our bodies, clothes, immediate family, and home, which greatly affects us for we place a bigger chunk of our investment of ourself to the aforementioned things. In addition, these possessions are perceived as an extension of an individual's identity, which become a major contributor to ourself and a clear reflection of our identity. With introspection, we achieve to understand and perceive our identity through the aspect of our material self. So in terms of material self, basically it composed of four things of different layers. In the outermost layer, we have home, and then we have immediate family, and then we have clothes, and our innermost layer is our body. So the first component of material self is body. Investing in our body, we strive hard to make sure that this body function well and good. Intentionally, we invest in our body because we are directly attached to this commodity that we cannot live without. Kasi without our body, wala din tayo. So the tendency of that, we invest in our body. As much as possible, ayaw nating magkasakit kasi sino bang may gusto na nagkakasakit tayo, di ba? Kasi tayo din ang nahihirapan. So we have a certain preferential attachment to our intimate closeness to a certain parts because of its value to us. So different people have different preferential body parts. Halimbawa, for certain peoples, value sa kanila yung vocal cords nila kasi that is their source of income. Kaya in some cases, yung whole body nila. For example, for a model, that is important for them so they invest in their physical body. So this goes back to the kind of ourself that seek self-care and attentive of our body's well-being. So the second component of material self is the clothes. So essential part of the material self, clothing is a form of self-expression. So the fabric and style of the clothes we wear bring sensations to the body and can affect our attitude and behavior. Anong types of clothes o anong brands of clothes ang sinusuot mo? More on preppy style ka ba? Girly style? Or are you more on comforter style? So it describes who we are kasi kung ano ang preferred natin. We choose and wear clothes that reflect ourselves, our personality, or our characteristics, even the color. Merong color psychology tayong tinatawag. So our clothes is a self-expression. Are we happy? Or are we sad? Kung namamatayan tayo, we usually wear black or white. We do not tend to wear colorful clothes, so that's one of example. So the third component of material self is the immediate family. So our parents and our siblings holds another part of ourself. We see them as the nearest replica to ourself. So these people are likely to shape and influence the development of self-identity. Family. Sila yung unang part natin of socialization. We learn a lot from our family, anong dapat at hindi pwedeng isuot. For example, kung ano ang dapat mga priorities in life, ano dapat ang role mo, itong mga bagay nito, una nating natutunan within the family. What they do or become affects us. Halimbawa, pag nasa lugar tayo, tapos may bibilhin tayo, for example, sino magulang mo? Ganun ang tanong sa atin. Ikaw yung apo ni ganito. So we are usually associated with our family, especially dito sa Pilipinas. When an immediate family dies, part of ourself dies. When their lives are in success, we feel victorious as if we are the one holding the trophy. Ganito tayo pag may achievement yung family members natin, we are also happy kasi feeling natin tayo na rin ang may hawak ng trophy at tayo na rin ang naging successful. Ganun ka-importante yung role na piniplay ng family natin. So the last component of material self is the home. It is where our heart is, the earliest nest of our selfhood. So our experiences inside the home were recorded and marked on particular parts and things in our home. I don't know kung na-experience nyo ito kasi ako hindi ko ito na-experience. Pero in some family, ang ginagawa nila, alam nyo yung merong height measurement? 5 years old, ganito ka nakataas. So ginagawa nila ito to see kung gaano nakalaki ang difference ng height mo. So may mga parts, certain parts of our houses, of our home, na nagpapakita ng personal experience natin. For example, yung una na gabi-gabi mong kayakap o iniiyakan, di ba? That's part of our experience. So just like the saying, if only wolves can speak. Di ba yung bahay natin? already seen a lot of our personal things, o kaya yung mga pangyayari sa buhay natin, yung mga kapalpakan natin when we were a kid. Wala pa sigurong video, pero alam ng walls ang mga nangyayari when we were kid. So we put an investment for our health through insurance, engage in regular physical activity like gym, annual physical exam, eat proper diet, and essential supplements just to achieve a healthy body in order to attain proper functionality of our daily lives. So according to Lutzi, anytime we bring an object in the surges of our body, we invest that object in the consciousness of our personal existence, taking its contours to be our own, making it part of ourself. We choose and wear clothes that reflect ourselves. Moreover, it is a form of individualism that represents our persona, for whatever we wear is a portion of ourselves. Immediate family. Our family orientation significantly affect our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical aspect. Home. A safe place filled with precious memories. Moreover, our home is an extension of our other side that can directly attach ourselves.
Hi, good day everyone. I am Noel Facurib and I'm going to talk about our spiritual self. So, spiritual self, a man's inner or subjective being, his psychic faculties or dispositions, they can concretely meet the bare principle of personal unity, reflective process. So, one of the constituents is the spiritual self. This pertains to organizations or religions that we are enjoying to. So basically, our spiritual self is us in our most beautiful and powerful form. It is the authentic self, the unconditioned part. It is us without patterns. Okay? So, next, social self. So the last constituent is the social self. Recognition, which he gets from his mates. A man has a many social selves, as there are individuals who recognize him and carry an image of him in their mind. So social self refers to how we perceive ourselves in relation to others. It involves relationship, building, and communicating. It is also our pure ego, which focuses on our realistic aspects. Pure ego meaning it is the way we look at ourselves, like thinking you are the smartest person in the world, like that. So here we are, the second component of the self is the self feelings. So the feelings and emotions that arouse self feelings. These are primarily self-complacency and self-dissatisfaction of what is called self-love. So, self-feelings pertain to the feelings and emotions that we feel about ourselves, like feeling happy or contented to oneself. So, the next component of the self will be reported by our next reporter.
Components of the self. Number 3. The actions to which they prompt self-seeking and self-preservation. All the ordinary useful reflex actions and movement of alimentation and defense are acts of bodily self-preservation. So for this, these components, it's talk about how we care, how we concern ourselves. These components also tell us that we must put ourselves first before anyone else. Because these components focus on our self-seeking and self-preservation. Also, it's focus also in our social seeking or bodily seeking. Next, what are that we have? In every investment, there is a corresponding attachment to those things. The more investment, the more we are deeply attached to those. as James 18:90. Describes self as a man's self is the summations of all what he call his. The possessions become part of ourself and therefore possessions tell about who we are. Russell Beck 1988 posit that we regard our possession as part of ourselves. We are what we have and what we possess. So that's our report, a final part of our report. So thank you for listening, guys. And if any kind of concern, you can directly message us, all the reporter. So thank you so much.